Hi, I am Christy, and this is my friend Alex.
Alex.
Yeah. I am a medium and energy worker, and Alex is also super spirity. So she brings a lot with just her own experiences that she's had with this stuff.
Yeah.
So today we wanted to talk about astrology.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like bad rap for astrology.
Yeah, a lot of misconceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
People see those daily horoscopes and they're like, okay, well that could fit for anyone. And for those things, honestly, I don't believe those either.
No. Yeah, daily horoscopes are not what astrology is for or at all. So I feel like when you say you're into astrology, people assume that's what you mean, that you like just read these daily horoscopes every day, and that could not be further from the truth
seriously
of what astrology is.
So most people know their sun sign. So like that's like everyone knows like you're an Aquarius or whatever, and that's based on your like when you were born, like month wise kind of like day and month.
Yep.
I'm an Aquarius.
I'm a Libra.
Yeah, so we're highly compatible.
Oh, yes.
Which is pretty funny. Yeah, so most people just know their sun sign, but there's actually, like, a ton more signs. Like, there's your moon sign and your rising and your...
Jupiter, Mercury.
Yeah, there's, like, all the different
many
things that depend on, like, the specific time you were born and where you were born, and...
Yeah,
I mean, that kind of ties into the timing, but...
Yeah, so while your sun sign can be a good kind of, like, overall generalization, not everything about your sun sign is going to fit you, and everybody is so unbelievably different. Like, every Libra will be different. So that's why those daily horoscope things aren't necessarily the best, because it's just based off of one minuscule aspect of your personality.
Yeah, because, I mean, really, it's like, I don't know. It's like if you only took into account that someone was male or female, and so all the females are the same and all the males are the same, and that's not life.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you. So, like, both my mother and my sister are Cancers. Super different people.
Could not be more different.
They're so different. Yeah. And they're both, like, you know, people are, like, Cancers or emotional or whatever. And they both are. Very different ways.
Yeah.
They have very different energies about them. Yeah. Like, it's just, that doesn't mean that if you've met one of a certain sign, you have not met them all. Yeah, that would be ridiculous to think that.
Yeah. So, all this bad stuff being said about astrology, it does have its uses, and it is valid, and it is true.
Yeah, you should be skeptical about things. Don't just blindly believe stuff on the internet, because...
Yes.
That's not a good idea ever.
Go ahead and blindly believe us.
Oh my god. Okay. So,
yes. Astrology is useful.
Yeah, it actually is.
Because at its core, what people forgot, it's about basically, I mean, like when you were born, it's
like understanding yourself.
Yeah. And I think it makes sense in that, I mean, we choose this life. We choose when we're going to be born. Of course, we
choose what family we're going to be into.
Exactly. So, where we are positioned as in connection to like where the stars and the planets were, I think that has some.
Yeah, and some people have a theory that we, from each life, we're still the same sign. Like, so like all my past lives, and I also believe that.
Yeah.
Just because from what I know of my past lives, I was like that way.
And and I think that makes sense, because I mean, this is getting into past lives a little bit, but who you are in your lives is obviously different, but at your core
it's also connected.
You're the same person.
Yeah.
So totally of course your sign would be the same.
Yeah. So when I really wanted to like actually get in depth about what the signs were like, I got a book by Linda Goodman called Sun Signs, and she also has love signs, which is not what you think. It's really just like relationships, like your friendships or whatever. Like it describes us to a T.
It did.
So, but it was written like in the 60s.
Yeah, so there's
a little
some stuff that doesn't apply.
Well, it's a little like gender biased, like thinking that women are in the home.
Yeah, which is obviously ridiculous. But you can look past that.
Yeah. I think it's easy to look past it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and Linda Goodman's book were the first books where astrology made sense to me because I'm a Libra, and the stereotype of that is like super like social and like not shallow but very like materialistic and like super like all that stuff, and that is not me at all. I'm super introvert. I like staying at home and all that stuff. So I didn't really believe in astrology for the longest time because I would read like the super simple descriptions
and
of
it
Libras,
didn't resonate with you,
and it did not fit me at all. So I was like, all right, astrology is crap. But then I read it in Linda Goodman's book, and I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I always was like, oh, that's interesting that I kind of fit what they think an Aquarius is, but I never listened to those horoscopes in the newspaper or whatever because it was just so ridiculous to me. It's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are, it's super broad. It's like if you were like, okay, all the females today will be happy. That's not a thing that could ever work.
Yeah. So, no, and I mean, you have to take into account who's writing those horoscopes.
That's what I would like to know.
Do they know anything about astrology? Maybe not. But Linda Goodman and other reputable astrology people who have studied astrology, those people are usually more accurate.
Yeah, and if you really want to get into your astrology, your chart, we just found an app called CoStar, and you need to know the time you were born though, because that does take into account a big that changes a lot of things. But that is a super good resource that explains what all of the different sun, what the sun sign is for, what the moon sign, rising, all the different ones.
It's a really good app. And that one also gives you, in addition to giving you a layout of your entire chart, it gives you updates for each day, which sounds a little bit like a daily horoscope, but it's based off your entire chart. Yeah, it's based off your and
it's your in-depth chart.
Yeah, your entire, it takes everything into account, and it's also it's based on where the stars are aligning and where the planets are, and it comes from that, not based off of stereotypes. So
or just the month you were born in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, especially with that stuff too, there's cusps. One of my best friends is a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp, which sounds like craziness because it's broody and then a golden retriever, but it's a thing. So you really it's not as simple as everyone thinks. Yeah. It's not just this super surface thing.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still a lot we have to learn.
Oh, yeah.
About astrology. We are in no ways experts on this.
Yeah, because we're more talking to spirit and dead people and stuff.
Exactly. Astrology is just a nice tool to understand yourself even more. Yeah. It's a good way. It's useful, and it can be fun, too.
Yeah. As an Aquarius, we're kind of known as, the weird sign. Yeah. And so it is nice when you read Linda Goodman's book and you're like, oh my God, this is me. And it's okay, I'm not the only crazy person. I'm not the only weird person in the world. I'm not the only person that's like this. Which you're not the only person that's like that, but there's a large group of people that experience that as well. So that's super nice.
Yeah, and it can also help you figure out what you need to work on.
100%,
yeah, because where you were born, say we're saying you choose you also choose what lessons you want to learn, and so if you are consistently being born as a Libra, clearly there's something about that personality that you need to learn about. So knowing more about for Libras, it's all about balance and learning how to be balanced. Yeah, and so clearly that's a lesson that I have to learn. And hearing about, like, how Libras can, like, be so out of balance is a good way to, like, focus in on what I should be learning.
Yeah, like, your sign that you are whatever can actually, like, create opportunities for different lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my mom's a Cancer, and she decided to be born into a family that was a little crazy. So, like, that would make it more difficult if you are not as good as dissociating from the things or whatever. Like, if you're a very emotional person and you want everyone to be, that's not all Cancers. I shouldn't say that. I should not say that. But it's like it opens up opportunities for you to learn different things, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it's basically just, like, an explanation of, like, your personality, or, like, one of the signs is, like, how you come off to others.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool, because it's so different from how you, like, there's how you perceive yourself and then how others perceive you.
Yeah.
And it's totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be the same. You could have those signs be in, like, the same thing, like Taurus or whatever. But it's, I mean, very possible that they're not the same.
Yeah.
And that's super interesting to, like, learn about that stuff. Because then you really get to know yourself better. And it's like, you know yourself. Hopefully you're aware of things about yourself.
Yeah.
But you can kind of go deeper and reading about it and having it, like, in front of you really just makes you think about it, like, brings it to the surface.
Yeah, and a huge part of this whole spirity process is learning about yourself and understanding yourself. Like, you're not going to be able to do much. I mean, you can, but, I mean, the more you know yourself, the more you understand yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to do spirity stuff.
Yeah, if you're not, like, doing introspection or whatever, like, you're going to have a real rough time talking to your guides and stuff.
Exactly.
And they're not going to put up with that also, so.
Yeah, so if you are interested in learning about yourself, I would give a look into astrology, because it can be really helpful. You just have to look past the daily horoscopes.
It can also be helpful for understanding others.
Yes.
Because I know sometimes people are like, I don't understand why someone would be this way. This makes absolutely no sense to me. But if you, like, know when they were born, kind of, you can look at their chart and be like, okay, so this is more, and it's just general information. It's not like this is your person to a T, but it's helpful to understand other people's, like, ways of thinking and going about things. Yeah. So it's super helpful. And it's pretty funny when you read about relationships, because then it's just like light bulbs.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, my favorite thing I've ever read about astrology is we were reading the section in Linda Goodman's Love Signs about Libra and Aquarius relationships. So I'm Libra, she's Aquarius. And the first sentence was, Libra is forever blowing bubbles and Aquarius is forever bursting them.
This is true.
And I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever read.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah, so that's our relationship, basically.
So, astrology. Fun, informative, useful.
Yeah. And if you don't trust it, go with your gut. Like, if it seems sketch and not, like, from a reputable source.
Yeah. You'll know it. You'll feel it. It'll resonate with you. If it resonates with you, you've got the right information, the right
source. If it feels right.
Yeah. Always trust your gut. Trust your intuition.
Yeah. And that's with a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, we hope this was informative and helpful and maybe inspired you to look into astrology a little bit if you haven't already. She has a Tumblr.
I do.
Where the link is down below. She answers questions on there. She loves to answer questions, post stuff.
I really love it.
Yeah. And she also offers readings for only like $10, which is insane. So you can request a reading through Tumblr, Facebook, or email, all of which is down below. And yeah, please like this video if you liked it. Give us a comment if anything was confusing or didn't make sense, or if you have any questions.
Yeah, because we want feedback. We want feedback.
Or any suggestions for what you want to see us talk about, because we are totally open to that. And yeah, subscribe to this channel, and we'll be making more videos soon. So thank you. Bye.
Bye.